What's going on, everybody? Jeremy here again. I have another top list for you, and this one's going to be a top 10 list. Today I'm going to do the top 10 Avengers of all time. So now for this list I had decided I'm going to make this list based on what characters are more associated with the Avengers from like the comic books, with what characters are used now in the movies and the popularity of that. So I'm just basing this list off of, as far as Avengers, which ones have had the most impact on the actual Avengers from the comics and also the movies. So here we go. Number 10 on my list is Hawkeye. Now, Hawkeye, he's obviously known for, he's an archer. And he's not just an archer, but he's the best, probably, archer in the MCU. You know, he's accurate with shooting a bow and arrow, like at his enemies. And I know in the comics, he is very well affiliated with the Avengers. He is one of the main members of the team, as well as in the movies. You know, Jeremy Renner plays him in the movies. And, you know, he's been in Avengers 1, he's been, obviously, in Avengers 2, he had a bigger role in that. And just, you know, in merchandise, you know, when they, promote Avengers stuff, Hawkeye is one that is, you see him a lot. You know, he has had an impact on the Avengers team. And I think on my list, him being at number 10 is just right. You know, he is, and he is a cool character, too. I mean, yeah, he's very, you know, he does shoot a bow and arrow, but he's a good archer. But he's a good fighter, I believe, too. It's not like all he needs to rely on is his gadgets. But he is a good archer, and you know, in the movies definitely show him well that he's good at that. So he's my number 10. Now number 9 I have is Black Widow. Now Black Widow, again, she's more popular than Hawkeye is. But she's very well affiliated with the Avengers. In the movies, Black Widow, she's a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent that she kind of has a history that we still really don't know a lot of. She's very well trained. She's good at martial arts. You know, they show her in, you know, the first couple Avengers movies. She's also in the Winter Soldier movie. She is popular amongst the Avengers universe. So she has had a history of being with the Avengers, and I think having her at number 9 for this list, that's my number 9, Black Widow. Alright, now number 8, we have the Vision. Now, the Vision is one of those characters that is, as far as the movies, he's still pretty new. He was in Avengers Age of Ultron. I believe Ultron did create him in the comics. But I know with him too, he's, as far as Avengers, he's up there too, as far as in the comics. He's very well associated with the Avengers. I do know that he has appeared in, you know, there was a game I remember for the Super Nintendo called Captain America and the Avengers, and I remember Vision was in that game, and that was probably back in the early 90s when that came out, or it might have even been the old Nintendo. But just there's another affiliation that he's been part of the Avengers team for a while. He is very powerful. I know he does. Apparently, in the movie universe, he has the gemstone, one of the Infinity Stones in his head, which gives him all this power. And he is going to be in the next Civil War movie, and also probably in future Avengers movies. So he is a character that has a special place for many Avengers fans. Vision. So number 8 is Vision. Now number 7 I have, now he's definitely the most popular Marvel character. Number 7 I have SpiderMan. Now SpiderMan originally wasn't part of the Avengers team, like back in the 60s, even 70s and 80s. He has been a newer addition to the Avengers. I know he later did join the Avengers, you know, in the comics, you know, later on, and but you know, I had to have him on this list because of his impact that he's had just in Marvel. You know, he is the most popular superhero. He is, you know, he is the most marketed without a doubt. But you know, as far as an Avenger, he's not really, you know, he's not really associated with the Avengers that much. But I know that he will be, you know, he has joined the MCU now, so you do know he's going to be on the Avengers team. But as far as, he was part of the Avengers later on, and, I thought having him at number 7 is perfect because, he's an essential character to Marvel, but as far as Avengers, he's not there yet, or he maybe he will be. But so I thought number 7 was a perfect spot for him. Now number 6 is a character I am not that familiar with, but I know as far as Avengers, she's very well familiar, and that is the Wasp. Now the Wasp was one of the original characters for the Avengers. One of the original 5 or 6 characters, the Wasp. And in a way, she's similar to Ant-Man, where she can grow. I believe she can grow very small in her Wasp suit. And as far as I'm not exactly sure what she actually does, but as far as Avengers, she has been a very significant part throughout the history of Avengers. So I thought having her at number 6 would be perfect for this list. Number 5 now I have is AntMan. AntMan was one of the original members of the Avengers when it first came out in the 60s. Now AntMan isn't necessarily the most popular character in Marvel, but he as for fans who have grown up with Avengers and Marvel, AntMan is one of the most just Avengers affiliated characters. He obviously, as we see in the movie Ant-Man, he has the suit that can help him shrink very small and actually fight, grown men as being the size of an insect. And he can be strong. He does later on. He can grow even bigger, like he can grow into Giant Man. And as far as just Avengers, comics, and he has been a very significant part of the Avengers. And I know in the storyline, he actually in the comics created Ultron. In the movies, Tony Stark did, but it was really Ant-Man created Ultron. Hank Pym is Ant-Man in the comics. He created Ultron, and then that started the whole story of Ultron, became evil, and then the Avengers had to stop him. That was because of Ant-Man, really. So Ant-Man has had a significant role in Avengers, and he is a really cool character, without a doubt. I think the movie showed well what he can do, and he's going to be in future movies. He's going to be in Civil War, as well as probably future Avengers movies. I believe they are going to make a movie called Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, the Wasp, too, was teased at the end of Ant-Man, that the lady who was in Ant-Man, the daughter of Hank Pym, is going to be the Wasp because her mother was actually the Wasp. And I do believe that in the comics, Ant-Man and the Wasp do have a relationship. I believe they were husband and wife. That's how it was in the movie. And then, so they're already teasing Wasp, so she's going to be definitely, probably in Avengers 3 and all that. So Ant-Man I have as number 5 on the list. So now we're going down, now we're at the final 4. Number 4, and I'm sure many of you probably can guess what the final 4 are. At number 4 is the Hulk. Now the Hulk was an original member of the team back in the 60s when it started, but then I believe he faded away. He wasn't in the Avengers after that. I don't know what happened, but as far as in the movies, Avengers 1 and Avengers 2, the Hulk has been, he's been in both of them, and he's been a very significant role in the Avengers films, especially now. Especially the modern Avengers, like you could say the Ultimate Avengers, he's been a big part. And with merchandising and marketing for the Avengers, you always see his picture of the Hulk. And, he's such a great character, too. A lot of people love the Hulk. And they did make a Hulk movie in 2008. That was with Edward Norton. I don't know if they're going to make another one. I hope they make another solo one. I think he is going to be in the next Thor movie. But as far as the Hulk in the Avengers, especially now, he's considered to be a main character in the team. And I'm looking forward to, and so far I like him in the Avengers films. The first one, he was good. The second one, I would say he wasn't used that well, I think, in the second movie, in the second Avengers movie. But as far as him, he is, in the Avengers, a significant character. And that's why I have him as number 4. Alright, so number 3 on the list is Thor. Now Thor, he was believe, yes, he was one of the original members back in the 60s when they started. And, he's the god from Asgard. And, he has the hammer, and he's great. He's a great character. In the movies, Chris Hemsworth plays him. And so far, he's been in 2 Thor movies and 2 Avengers movies, and he's been great. And, he is a great character. He is a very key character in the Avengers universe from all the way back from the 60s all the way till now. Throughout all the comics, Thor has been a main guy. And, and he's a great character. And I can't wait to see what they're going to do in the future with him. Thor Ragnarok is coming up. So Thor, number 3. So now the top 2, all of you probably know what they're going to be. But number 2 is Iron Man. Iron Man, as far as the Avengers too, he has been one of the main players in the team. He wasn't in the original lineup back in the 60s when it first started. And in the movies, Iron Man definitely has had a significant part with Robert Downey Jr. playing him. And, just because in a way, Iron Man, the first movie, started this whole MCU that we have now. And without that success of that film, really, we might have not have gotten these Avengers movies. In a way, these Avengers movies were all hoping for that success of Iron Man. And as far as Iron Man's role in the Avengers, he is the one who kind of, he gets all of the stuff that the team needs. He's Tony Stark. He has all of the weapons they need. He create all this technology that they need. So he's been you could say the main producer of the team. He's there. He's the guy that people can go to for, hey, I need this. Like Hawkeye might need a new bow. Hey, Iron Man, can you provide that for me? Or, he's been that guy. He's been that guy to have all the technology the team needs. And as far as Avengers, he's without a doubt considered one of the main characters in the Avengers universe. So, and he is a great character. His suit is great. He has the ability to make all these different suits, and in the movies it has shown that pretty well, except, Iron Man 2 and 3 really didn't show him great, really were not that great movies, but I'm hoping that, he's going to be in Civil War, obviously, and it looks like, according to the trailers, that he is going to have a great role in it, and he is going to be doing his Iron Man things that he does, so, number 2, Iron Man. Alright, so the number 1 character for the Avengers, I think, just based off of history, based off of the team, without a doubt, it's Captain America. I mean, Captain America has been the face of the Avengers for years. Now, how it all started with him, now he wasn't an original character in the 60s when they first started, but there was an interview that Stan Lee, the creator of Marvel pretty much, many of the characters, he had wanted to bring Captain America back somehow. And, because after the war, he had kind of faded in popularity. And he was trying to figure out a way, how could I bring Captain America back into the Marvel Universe? And he had figured out a way where he had, Captain America was frozen in ice, like, during the war for, like, 20 years. And then members of the Avengers team actually found him and revived him. And he was frozen. He came back to life. And then he was put right in the Avengers team because pretty much the world he knew was gone. So now this was his new world. This was a brilliant way to bring him back into the universe. And he was, I believe it was issue number 4 for Avengers where Captain America came back to life and he was on the team. And ever since then, he has been the main focus of the Avengers. He's been the leader of the Avengers throughout all the comics. Yeah, and also, too, he was the first Avenger. That's kind of how for the movie Captain America the First Avenger, he was the first guy. He was the first real superhero of Marvel. So he's just had such a great impact on the team. And then, obviously in marketing, they always have Captain America, like, in the group because that's just how it's been for years. And also in the movies, they have portrayed him. I think the first Avengers movie, they didn't portray him as much like as the leader of the team because he has been the leader of the team ever since he first came, you know, in the Avengers back in the 60s, he's been the leader, he's been the guy calling the commands, he's been the director of the team for the most part. And in the movies, you know, the first Avengers movie didn't show that well. A lot of the focus was on the Iron Man character. But I think in the second Avengers movie, he does have more of that leader presence. I think he does have the most screen time. But then also now we're getting to Civil War that's coming out. In a way, Civil War, it's going to be Captain America Civil War, so he's going to have the main focus. And he's going to be leading the Avengers. So in a way, Civil War will be that Avengers movie with Cap as like the leader. You know, he's the go-to guy. He's the center of the team. So yeah, Captain America, he's without a doubt, he has to be the top Avenger because he's just throughout, because of the history. And Chris Evans definitely, he was casted as Captain America, and he has grown into the role. You know, at first, many people were kind of skeptical because he was the Human Torch. But since now that he's had like 5 movies, he has grown into the character. He has become the character of Captain America. And, you know, he's done a great job with it. And as far as the future of Captain America, we'll see. Because, you know, all of these guys, you know, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, you know, eventually they can't play these characters forever. So I'm curious to see what Marvel is going to do in the future with these characters. So yeah, that's my top 10 Avengers list. What do you think? Do you like my list? What are your favorite Avengers of all time? Who would you have in your list? Just let me know, and thanks again for watching this video. Thanks for watching Review Anything, and hopefully we'll be bringing more videos to you guys. So thanks for watching. Have a good rest of the day.